Here's your wrestling news for September 8th, 2021. And your headlines for today include: WWE might have given up on pushing Jeff Hardy, still trending over WWE 24/7 title segment on Raw. Matt Hardy reacts. Major update on Kevin Owens' contract amidst all the rumors. The Undertaker is set to star in a movie alongside The New Day. 2 big matches added to next week's WWE NXT Revamp episode. Tony Khan meets Bray Wyatt, several details discussed. Ying makes NXT singles debut, identity of opponent. WWE and AEW running same venue on back-to-back weeks. CM Punk reveals whether he had a talk with Bryan Danielson before his AEW debut. Former WWE NXT superstars announced for ROH Death Before Dishonor match, and more. We are kicking off today with Jeff Hardy, whose booking as of late has left a lot to be desired. A 3-time former WWE World Champion who at one point was their top merchandise seller, Hardy was seen chasing the 24/7 title, a statement only made worse when you realize he never got close to winning the gold. This has led to a backlash online as countless fans took to Twitter to make their voices heard, with Jeff's name trending on the site. Many fans called on WWE to treat Jeff better, but others simply called for his exit from the company, presumably to join Matt in AEW. Generally, the 24/7 title is for those superstars on the bottom of the card, and it seems to be a sign that WWE has given up on pushing Jeff, as well as Jackson Ryker, who, despite being in line for a push a few weeks ago, was also seen chasing the green and gold title. The day after Raw, Jeff was still trending, and on his account, Matt reposted a birthday tweet for Jeff from August 31st, saying Brother Nero is loved and he wants what's best for him. Matt is certainly doing better in AEW as he's on TV each week leading a heel stable, and after this response from the fans, it's highly possible that Jeff will consider a move elsewhere when his current contract with WWE expires. Over to SmackDown next, as Kevin Owens is one of the top stars of the Blue brand, but his days with WWE are numbered. Yesterday, the former Universal Champion tweeted the coordinates to Mount Rushmore, which was the name of the group he was in alongside the Young Bucks and Adam Cole prior to them going their separate ways. Now, Owens' deal with WWE is finishing sooner than expected. As Fightful Select report, Kevin Owens did an interview in May of 2018 with TVA Sports where he stated that he signed a new 5-year contract that would carry him into 2023. However, as it turns out, that deal is actually now up in January 2022, according to WWE sources. Owens didn't just fire off his Mount Rushmore tweet, but he also changed the location of his Twitter bio to "almost there," with many believing AEW being the destination he's getting closer to. Owens only added more speculation to the rumors when he deleted his tweet and location, with some wondering if WWE had ordered him to do so. In that same 2018 interview with TVA Sports, Owens said he had no intentions of finishing his wrestling career anywhere other than WWE, but that was before AEW was formed and became the fan-favorite promotion it is today. Although this situation sounds very similar to Adam Cole, WWE has more time to get ready, as unlike the former Undisputed Era member, WWE are well aware of when KO's deal expires. Owens' contract was restructured shortly before the ongoing global situation, but there's no word on why his deal was altered. What we do know is that unless Owens re-signs, he'll be gone in a matter of months, and after losing so many big names to AEW, WWE would be wise to keep the former Universal Champion. Last November, The Undertaker had his final farewell at Survivor Series 30 years after his debut at the same event, but now the Phenom is donning the iconic hat and trench coat once more. It's been confirmed that The Undertaker will be part of a new Netflix interactive film titled Escape from the Undertaker, and we'll see the New Day trapped in a mansion with the former world champion. The plot is that the trio don't know that the Phenom's mansion is haunted, and the viewer will have to navigate the house, defeating supernatural challenges in order for the New Day to escape. This new interactive film will hit Netflix on October 5th, just in time for Halloween, and we'll have to see how the former world champion fares nearly a year after last appearing in character. Next week, WWE ushers in a new era of NXT when the show gets an entire redesign, and some huge matches have been announced. In an NXT Women's title match, Raquel Gonzalez will defend against Frankie Monet, whilst a fatal four-way match between Tommaso Ciampa, Kyle O'Reilly, LA Knight, and Pete Dunne will determine the next challenger for NXT champion Samoa Joe. Next week's show will also see the wedding of Dexter Lumis and Indy Hartwell, but we expect some objections to the marriage in what'll be an interesting way for NXT to usher in a new era of the brand. In July, WWE made the baffling decision to release Bray Wyatt, and there was speculation quickly after that the former Fiend would soon be joining AEW. That now appears to be the case, as when Ringside News asked their source, they were told that unless things change, the plan is for Wyatt to debut for AEW when his 90-day non-compete clause is up. AEW can't make an offer to Wyatt until that clause is up, but Ringside News reports that talks have already begun between the two parties. According to reports, Khan and Wyatt met 3 weeks before All Out, and the pair have a verbal agreement to work with each other, as Wyatt was keen on signing a multi-year deal with AEW. In their discussions, Wyatt and Khan have discussed what kind of character he'll be, such as whether he'll be a normal wrestler or continue being the cult leader demonic character he found success with in WWE. It's also reported that CM Punk and Daniel Bryan have been instrumental in Wyatt wanting to join AEW after seeing the success so far of the two former world champions. Wyatt's non-compete clause will expire on October 29th, which gives AEW time to sign him to a deal in time for Full Gear, which will now take place on November 13th, and time will tell if the former Fiend finds a new home in the All Elite promotion. Back to NXT, as this week's show saw Tian Sha's Mei Ying make her official singles debut in the ring. In a squash match, Yang dominated enhancement talent Virginia Ferry, who was played by indie star Dream Girl Ellie of the International Superstars. This marks Ellie's second NXT TV match, as she also has a Battle Royal from the September 23, 2020 show under her belt, and she's also appeared for AEW, having 2 dark matches last November and competing on Elevation this past July. As for Mei Ying, the millennia-old character is played by Karen Q, who had been recovering from a broken leg, and although she teamed with Xia Li on the March 31st NXT, last night marked the first time she really got physical in the ring. Earlier this year, it was reported that WWE had been impressed by the Tian Sha group and had big plans for Mei Ying going forward, and that certainly seems to be the case after this week's dominant performance. Now, the Wednesday Night Wars have been over for months, as WWE moved NXT to Tuesday nights after being hammered by Dynamite, but now a different kind of war is on the horizon. Yesterday, AEW announced that they are running a show on December 8th at the UBS Arena in Long Island, with CM Punk being front and center in the promotional material. Tickets for that show go on sale this Friday, but that won't be the only wrestling game in town, as just 1 week prior, WWE is running Raw at the same venue on November 29th. Both shows will no doubt have stacked cars in this war of the ticket sales, but it'll ultimately be the fans and their money who decide which show is more popular, at least in Long Island, New York. CM Punk will do all he can to make the December 8th AEW show a sellout event after his incredible debut for the company just a few weeks ago. At All Out, Punk defeated Darby Allin, whilst Bryan Danielson debuted for the company later that night in what was yet another huge debut for the promotion. Speaking at the post-show media scrum, Punk revealed that he talked to Bryan before his debut, saying, "I talked to him today, that's it. I didn't want to reach out to him and be like, 'I know you're coming, brother,' because I knew I would see him today and I would talk to him. And I waited until he was done doing his thing and gave him a big hug. And it's just exciting. It's exciting to be here." 4 months after his last appearance in WWE, fans were ecstatic to see Bryan Danielson in AEW, and Punk shared that same feeling backstage when he saw his friend and former rival. Danielson's appearance wasn't all Punk had to talk about at the post-show media scrum, as he also discussed his match with Allin and the post-show handshake that he had with Sting. Speaking about their show of respect, Punk said it was something that he didn't even put on his bucket list because he thought it was too impossible, and said that he's certain he'll team with the icon down the line. We'll have to wait and see how long it'll be before Sting and Punk team up, but there's clearly a lot of respect between the two and Darby Allin, but until then, it remains to be seen who Punk will feud with next after his amazing return to the ring. At All Out 2021, Ruby Soho made her debut for AEW by winning the Women's Casino Battle Royal, earning herself a future Women's World Championship match against Britt Baker. That match won't happen just yet, as on social media, Soho's Dynamite debut has been confirmed for tonight, and we'll see her face Jamie Hayter. Tonight's show will see Minoru Suzuki face Jon Moxley, and Dustin Rhodes take on Malachi Black in what will be a stacked episode of Dynamite after the incredible All Out pay-per-view. And we're ending with Ring of Honor, as their Death Before Dishonor pay-per-view will see several former NXT superstars on the card. After previously announcing the 2 recently released free agents would be on the card, it's now been announced that Jake Atlas will face Taylor Rust, formerly Tyler Rust, this Sunday. The pair were released from WWE on August 6th, and after serving their non-compete clauses, the 2 former NXT superstars are looking to impress in ROH now that they can wrestle again. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.